So these are very significant points, Mr. Sridhar. And talking of Kautilya School of Public Policy, also because the applications are open and the classes begin very soon in July.
Yeah.
I would want to understand what role does Kautilya aim to play in the public affairs ecosystem in India? And what skill sets do you look for in a candidate when they appear for the interviews or when they appear for other aspects of the process for being hired? And how is Kautilya preparing these candidates to be industry ready?
So, firstly, let's look at saying that what are the right attributes? Who is a good Kautilyan, right? A good Kautilyan is one who has a belief that we can change the way we govern ourselves.
Okay.
Right. The second is saying that he is somebody who respects the other sectors of the society. Whether you are from business, government, or society, you don't have to come with a bias or animosity against the other two sectors. Because collectively we need to win this battle together.
Right.
You need to be able to partner across these divides and make sure that the end outcome is achieved. So that's the second attribute. The third, what we would believe is of course your marks are important because it tells you how well you have performed in the past. But every application to Kautilya is accompanied by 3 essays. Where we would like to understand, given a particular problem statement, how are you applying the knowledge that you have into a meaningful argument?
Okay.
Right? This gives us a glimpse of the thinking of the candidate. And next, when it comes to that interview, there are 2 interview rounds after this, right? And when they come to the interview round, this is where the interview panel is going to engage in a conversation with the applicant or the candidate, and then have that conversation of saying that you seem to say that simultaneous elections is a good thing. Now help us understand why simultaneous election is a good thing, right? And it's important that we kind of go each issue and start understanding how is a prospective Kautilyan thinking, and that's what we are excited with. Every time there are interviews, we are super excited and to see, okay, what googly will this new candidate throw for us?
Yeah.
And the fact that half of them are people with a lot of experience, it makes it even more interesting to see it from their own lens. Somebody who's built Metro for the last 6 years is an applicant, and when we interact with him, for him to see it from saying that, sir, how does multimodal transport, how can it be made better from my own project? So they're self-critical. Somebody who's spent many years in the education space comes in and says that, sir, the government teachers are paid very, very well. But interns or so-called teaching assistants who are paid probably 1/5 or 1/10 of that salary are giving a lot more valuable education to the students, that students flock around these kids rather than the regular teacher. So that's where real transformation is happening. Right? So we would want our applicants to come in with these worldviews and then say, okay, what is changing in India and how can I be part of it? What have I learned? What would I like to learn more? That openness is what we are looking at.
Right.
Now, how do you make them industry ready? Our approach for making them industry ready is very simple. You are preparing for industry from the day you step into the college. From day one of your program, you are choosing the specialization areas that you want to do. You are reaching out to get the best and the brightest companies to come and partner with us, come give a guest lecture, be part of our conferences, etc. You could go in and intern there, and you might as well end up getting placed there at the end of the years. Right? Placement is incidental, but the journey is very important. And that's where we have a lot of practitioners who will come and teach. And when practitioners come to teach, and if they throw a problem that they are currently working on, if you have a creative solution, then I don't think anybody will have to bother about an interview process, HR se call aayega. All of that is no longer required. In today's world, somebody will offer at the end of a session, hey, why don't you join us? Here is the email ID, here is the offer.
Yeah.
Right? And we have seen that happen, right? And it's about that. It's about kind of helping you prepare hard, helping you get on to your journey of transformation. And each of our faculty is from that mindset.
Okay.
They don't believe that your student project has to be a student project. Actually be an opportunity for you to go for 90 days into an industry, doing something very interesting and change something. Or go be part of a bureaucrat or a politician's everyday life and see how you can do things differently with them.
Absolutely.
But most importantly, go and work with organizations who are doing interventions at scale, not for profits, or probably doing mid-day meal scheme. Probably those who are kind of helping measure how educational outcomes are, or go work with organizations who are providing healthcare services in remote part of India, in the tribal hamlets, etc. These are all the things that we would want our students to get hands-on and learn real-life challenges, because our mission is to empower leaders who will solve 21st century problems. And that will happen only with rigorous public policy education. We want them to experience that rigorous public policy education over the next 2 years, but at the same time in a safe environment.
Right.
So that's how we are making them industry ready from day one. There's not going to be a committee that will evaluate telling are we industry ready or not. The students are encouraged to kind of come in and say that, you know what, I saw this job ad and they wanted me to have expertise in R and Stata. How come I don't have this in my thing? So we'll say that, well, why don't you guys lead this conversation and come in with the kind of experts whom you would want them to come and teach. 10% of our teaching hours are going to be determined by our students.
Okay.
They're going to curate the skill shops, come up with unanimous resolution and say, okay, here are the 10 skill shops that we would like to be offered in the next year.
Okay, wow, that's great.
Right. So they are learning what they want to learn in the academic framework and getting credits as well. I think that's where we need to move.